New journal entry. I finally tamed a Daeodon. Having their passive healing ability during the fight against the Guardians will be invaluable. Another thing that I had put off for far too long was a Yutyrannus. While out scouting for one with sufficient strength on Elizabeth, I was dismounted from her, and one fear roar later, she was gone. Hopefully I'll run across her again. Her loss was not in vain, however, as I did find a Yuty who was strong enough. So after fixing the traps, I set out on Cosmo, as Wally had earned himself a break. I came to a slight realization that trying to get the Yuty turned around to the side with the ramp was going to be a pain. So I set out to build a second ramp on the opposite side. I hadn't brought my tools with me, however, so I figured I should make some makeshift tools and quickly created up the ramp. The next item on the list was actually trapping the Yuty. I had lost sight of it while I was working, but I heard the telltale call in the distance. It actually sounded as though he had fallen down near my trap. Another fear roar sent Cosmo scattering, with me frantically trying to regain control. I hadn't even seen if it was the correct Yutyrannus yet. After regaining control of Cosmo once again, I turned him around, only to see that whatever Yuty had roared had followed me to the shore. Taking a risk, I fired my crossbow at it, hoping to get it in my trap closer to base. He fear roared again, sending Cosmo once again scattering, and I knew I was going to have to do this on foot. Loading my crossbow and stealing my resolve, I headed towards where I had last seen him. I'd have to find him again and drag him towards base. After only a few minutes of searching, I saw his feathered tail. I aimed and fired, knowing it was probably faster than me. I took off sprinting, hoping beyond hope that my stamina and head start would be enough. Spoiler alert, it wasn't. I could feel its breath on my neck. It launched me into the air with its nose multiple times, but I just kept running. Every time I landed, my feet found purchase and I kept going. As I've said before, this island is forgiving to idiots like me, but damn, it still hurts a lot to die. Leaving the base, I looked around and I saw him. It worked, he was in the trap. Now I just needed to go and get my stuff back from my own corpse. He was luckily otherwise occupied trying to slam into the stone structure I had built to trap him in there. Luckily he couldn't damage it enough to be able to get out, and I was able to sneak around and grab my things. Despite him being trapped, it was still a long slog trying to trank him out so that I could feed him slowly. After what felt like hours, he finally went down. Quickly ran over and grabbed some prime meat. I threw it onto him, and I waited. Hopefully this would be enough. It was well into the evening before he finally woke up, but he finally trusted me. I was able to put a saddle on him, and we were ready. After playing with a few different names for him, I settled on Carnage, and he and I set out to get a few of the offerings we will need for the Broodmother, as that fight was fast approaching. My wolf pack had grown from being 2 to now being nearly 20. We were almost ready. day of living up to its name and inflicting as much carnage as possible, I spotted a pterodon, and I knew that I needed some kind of a replacement for Elizabeth for now, until I could find her. And hey, he may even be able to help me find her. So, jumped off of Carnage and got it knocked out. With the new pterodon all tamed up, I figured it was time to head back to base. Got some more training to do, some more breeding to do on my wolves. After that, it'll be time to go to the broodmother. So it's just prep time now. I take a big, deep breath, and I breathe a sigh of relief as I know that this nightmare should be over soon. As I dismount Carnage, I think about all of this. I'm about to take my first steps to freedom, and if I fail, well, it will hurt. All of my partners I take with me will be gone. It's a very difficult concept to grasp, being perfectly realistic. Tending to these babies, I don't know if it's aliens, I don't know if it's God, I don't know what brought me here, but I know whoever it is will have something coming to them. This will end soon. I'm gonna miss all of my friends that I've made here. That'll be it for today's episode. Thank you again so much for watching. If you're liking this new format, please let me know in the comments. Like, subscribe, and we'll see you next time on Beating the Ark. Keep surviving.